Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about something truly powerful, the rarest women in the world. These women don't just exist, they leave their mark on everything they touch. They aren't defined by the expectations of others, but by the strength of their character, the fire in their spirit, and the impact they make. The rarest women in the world are the ones who have learned to own their uniqueness. They don't bend to fit the image that society expects of them. They don't shrink themselves to fit into boxes or labels. No, they've realized that their superpower lies in being unapologetically themselves. The world is full of imitators, but the rare ones stand out because they dare to embrace their flaws, their quirks, and their brilliance. They understand that there's nothing more powerful than a woman who knows who she is and isn't afraid to show it. Let me tell you something, life will test you. It will push you, challenge you, and throw you into situations that feel impossible. But it's in these moments that the rarest women reveal themselves. They show unwavering resilience. When they fall, they don't stay down. They rise every single time. They know that the storms in life aren't here to destroy them, they're here to reveal their strength. Rare women don't wait for life to get easier, they get tougher. The rarest women are also the ones who are fearless in their pursuit of purpose. They have a vision, a mission, something that drives them beyond themselves. They don't sit on the sidelines of their dreams, they're on the field, taking action and making things happen. They don't wait for permission to chase what sets their soul on fire. They face challenges head on, knowing that every setback is simply a setup for a greater comeback. These women carry an aura of authentic confidence. But listen closely, confidence is not about walking into a room thinking you're better than everyone else. No, it's about walking in without the need to compare yourself at all. Rare women are confident because they know their worth. They understand that they have nothing to prove to anyone but themselves. This kind of confidence radiates from the inside out. It's the kind of light that can't be dimmed, no matter how hard the world tries. But here's the most beautiful part. The rarest women in the world understand that true power doesn't come from keeping everything for themselves. It comes from lifting others up. They know that real success is about impact and contribution. They reach down to help others rise, knowing that when we uplift one another, we create something far greater than we could ever achieve alone. They're the women who light up a room, who inspire you to be better, to do better, and to believe that you too are capable of greatness. So here's my challenge to you: become one of the rare ones. Be the woman who refuses to let the world dictate her worth. Be the one who stands strong in her truth, who faces her fears head on, and who inspires others simply by being who she was always meant to be. The world doesn't need more of the same. It needs more of the rare. Are you ready to answer that call? When we talk about the rarest women in the world, one of the most powerful qualities they embody is the ability to truly own their uniqueness. This isn't just about knowing who they are, it's about embracing every aspect of themselves, the strengths, the vulnerabilities, the quirks, and the so-called imperfections. They understand that what makes them different is not a flaw, but a gift. It's something to be celebrated, not hidden away. The rarest women refuse to conform to the narrow definitions that society has laid out. They've realized that life is too short to spend it trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for them. Think about it, we live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages about how we're supposed to look, act, and even think. There's pressure to be this perfect version of yourself that's been curated by someone else's standards. But these women have chosen to break free from that. They don't allow the opinions or judgments of others to dictate their self-worth. Instead, they've made a conscious decision to honor who they are, exactly as they are. Now, that's easier said than done. Owning your uniqueness requires you to do something incredibly difficult that demands that you look within and truly see yourself. You have to be willing to strip away the masks you've worn to please others, to silence the voices that say you're not enough. It's about standing face to face with yourself and deciding that who you are is not only enough, but is exactly what the world needs. It's a journey, a process of unlearning everything you were told you had to be, so that you can finally step into who you really are. You see, rare women aren't afraid to be misunderstood. They don't fear being judged for not fitting in because they know that their value isn't tied to the approval of others. They understand that true confidence doesn't come from external validation, it comes from within. From the unshakable belief that they are valuable simply because they exist. And when you have that level of inner certainty, you become unstoppable. It's as if a weight has been lifted off your shoulders because you no longer have to perform for anyone. You are free to be unapologetically, authentically you. And the beauty of embracing your uniqueness is that it gives others permission to do the same. When a woman walks into a room fully owning who she is, people take notice. It's not because she's the loudest or the most flamboyant, it's because she radiates an energy that's magnetic. It's the kind of energy that comes from being comfortable in your own skin. There's nothing more powerful than a person who has decided to stop trying to fit in and instead chooses to shine in her own way. That's what creates a ripple effect. It's contagious. But let's be real, this kind of self-acceptance doesn't happen overnight. It takes work. It takes courage to peel back the layers and confront the insecurities and fears that have held you back. You have to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, the parts you were told were too much, too different, or not enough. But once you do that work, once you start to accept and even love those parts, you become a force of nature. You become the kind of woman who walks into any situation with her head held high, not because she's perfect, but because she's real. And in a world that's so obsessed with perfection, being real is revolutionary. It's about saying, this is me, take it or leave it, and that's the kind of strength that no one can take away from you. Owning your uniqueness is about stepping into your own story and realizing that you are the author. You get to write the chapters, you get to decide the plot, and you get to define what success and happiness look like for you. When you own your uniqueness, you don't just exist, you start to live fully. And that's what makes the rarest women in the world so extraordinary. They've realized that their uniqueness isn't a hindrance, it's their superpower. So the question is, are you ready to embrace your own uniqueness? Are you ready to stop trying to fit into someone else's version of who you should be? Because the moment you do, you'll realize that the very things you once saw as weaknesses are actually your greatest strengths. Resilience is a word we often hear, but few truly understand what it means to embody unwavering resilience. The rarest women in the world know that resilience isn't just about bouncing back after a setback. It's not just the ability to withstand difficulties, it's about allowing those difficulties to shape you, refine you, and make you stronger than you ever were before. The truth is, life is not always going to be easy. It's going to challenge you, push you, sometimes even break you. There will be moments where it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders, and all you want to do is give up. But the rare women who possess this deep, unshakable resilience know that these are the moments that define you. They know that strength isn't built in the moments when everything is smooth sailing, it's forged in the fires of adversity. Imagine being in the middle of a storm when the wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and the skies are dark. Most people want to find shelter and hide, but those who possess unwavering resilience, they stand tall in that storm, facing it head on. They know that it's not about avoiding the storm, it's about learning how to dance in the rain. They've realized that true strength isn't the absence of struggle, it's the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how fierce the storm gets. This kind of resilience comes from a deep place inside a place where you've made a decision that no matter what happens, you will not be broken. It's the inner resolve that tells you, I may bend, but I will never break. And it's not about pretending to be strong all the time. In fact, resilience often means allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to feel the pain, to acknowledge the hurt, but choosing not to let it defeat you. It's about saying, this is hard, but I'm still here. I may not have all the answers right now, but I will find a way. Resilient women are the ones who have learned to turn their pain into power. They take every setback, every disappointment, every failure, and they use it as fuel to propel them forward. They've mastered the art of reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. When life knocks them down, they don't just get back up, they rise higher, wiser, and more determined. They don't let the circumstances define them. Instead, they define how they will respond to those circumstances. But let's be clear, resilience doesn't mean being tough all the time. It's not about putting on a brave face and pretending everything is fine. No, the rarest women understand that true resilience is about flexibility. It's like a tree that bends in the wind but doesn't snap. These women know that sometimes resilience means allowing yourself to rest, to regroup, and to heal. It's about knowing when to stand firm and when to lean into the support of others. It's a delicate dance between strength and surrender, between pushing forward and knowing when to pause. What makes resilient women so rare is their ability to find meaning even in the darkest of times. They don't waste their energy asking, why me? Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? They've come to understand that life isn't always fair, and it's not always kind, but it's always teaching you something if you're willing to listen. This mindset transforms every setback into a stepping stone. It turns every failure into a lesson, every heartbreak into a source of wisdom. And perhaps the most beautiful aspect of unwavering resilience is the way it shines light for others. When you've gone through the fire and come out on the other side, you become a beacon of hope for those who are still in the thick of it. You show them that it's possible to survive, to heal, and to thrive. Resilient women don't just keep their strength for themselves, they use it to uplift and inspire others, to remind them that they too have the power to overcome whatever life throws their way. At the end of the day, the rarest women know that resilience is a choice. It's a choice to keep going when everything in you wants to give up. It's a choice to believe in yourself, even when the world is telling you that you can't. It's a choice to see setbacks not as barriers, but as detours that can lead you to places you never imagined. This is the essence of unwavering resilience. It's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more powerful with every challenge you face. It's about standing tall, no matter how many times you've been knocked down, and declaring, I am still here, I am still standing, and I am stronger than ever. The rarest women in the world have something that sets them apart. They live with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken. But more than that, they pursue that purpose fearlessly. It's not that they are without fear. No, they feel fear just like anyone else. The difference is that they refuse to let it stop them. They've made a conscious decision that their dreams, their vision, their calling are far more important than the temporary discomfort of fear. There's a kind of fire that burns within these women. It's a fire that comes from knowing that they're here for something bigger than themselves. They understand that they have a gift, a mission, something that they're meant to bring into the world. And once they connect with that sense of purpose, they become unstoppable. They don't wait for the perfect moment or for everything to fall into place. They act, they move, they create because they know that if they don't, they're not just letting themselves down, they're letting down the world that needs what only they can offer. Purpose is a powerful thing. It pulls you forward even when everything else is trying to pull you back. It gives you clarity and direction, especially when life gets chaotic and uncertain. But to pursue your purpose fearlessly requires a level of courage that most people never tap into. The rarest women have learned that fear is not a signal to stop, it's a sign that they're on the right track. They've learned to dance with their fears, to embrace the butterflies in their stomach as a sign that they're pushing beyond their comfort zone. What sets these women apart is their willingness to take risks. They understand that the pursuit of purpose is not a straight, easy path. It's filled with twists, turns, and obstacles that will challenge you at every step. But they don't see these challenges as reasons to turn back, they see them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. They know that every step forward, no matter how small, brings them closer to realizing their vision. They refuse to let the fear of failure paralyze them because they understand that failure is not the end, it's simply feedback, a lesson to be learned. These women have mastered the art of listening to their inner voice. They've realized that the world is filled with noise voices that will try to tell you what you should be doing, who you should be, and how you should live. But the rarest women have learned to tune out the external noise and tune into their own truth. They trust themselves. They trust that little whisper inside that tells them to go after what they want, even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. And that's why they are fearless in their pursuit. They are guided by something deeper than logic or reason. They're driven by their intuition, their passion, and their unwavering belief that they are here for a purpose. This doesn't mean they have everything figured out. In fact, the rarest women are often the ones who are most comfortable with not having all the answers. They've realized that part of pursuing your purpose is stepping into the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and trusting that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. They take imperfect action, knowing that it's better to move forward with courage and conviction than to sit on the sidelines, waiting for certainty that may never come. But perhaps one of the most powerful qualities of these women is their willingness to go against the grain. They're not afraid to be misunderstood, judged, or criticized. They've learned that if you try to please everyone, you'll end up losing yourself. So instead, they focus on pleasing the only person who truly matters, themselves. They live authentically, unapologetically, and with a deep sense of alignment to their purpose. They've made peace with the fact that not everyone will understand or support their journey, and that's okay. They're not here to seek approval, they're here to make an impact. In their fearless pursuit of purpose, they inspire others to do the same. When you see someone living so fully, so passionately, it's contagious. It lights a spark within you, reminding you that you too have a purpose worth pursuing. The rarest women lift others up simply by being who they are. They show us all what's possible when you stop letting fear control your life and start letting your purpose guide you. To live with fearless purpose is to wake up each day with a fire in your belly and a clear vision in your mind. It's about knowing that you are here for something that matters, something that can change lives, including your own. It's about making the decision, again and again, to push through the doubt, the fear, and the naysayers. It's about stepping into the arena of life fully, embracing the messiness, the unpredictability, and the beauty of it all. And at the end of the day, when the rarest women look back on their journey, they don't measure their success by how much they accumulated or how many accolades they received. They measure it by how fully they lived, how deeply they loved, and how deeply they loved, and how fiercely they pursued what set their soul on fire. That's the legacy of a life lived with fearless purpose, a life that truly matters. Authentic confidence is a rare quality, and when you see it, you can't help but take notice. It's not the loud, boastful bravado that many mistake for confidence. It's something deeper, quieter, and far more powerful. The rarest women in the world understand that true confidence doesn't come from external validation or approval. It's not about the titles, the accolades, or the admiration of others. Instead, it's about knowing your worth, owning your value, and walking through life with a deep sense of self-assurance that isn't dependent on anyone else's opinion. To be authentically confident is to understand that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, knowing that who you are is enough. This kind of confidence doesn't require you to be the center of attention or to dominate every conversation. Instead, it's about having the quiet strength to show up fully, speak your truth, and stand firm in your beliefs, even when the world around you disagrees. It's knowing that your voice matters, not because it's the loudest, but because it's grounded in your own truth. The journey to authentic confidence is often a hard one. It requires you to do the deep, inner work of confronting your insecurities, your doubts, and the limiting beliefs that have held you back. It's about peeling away the layers of conditioning that have told you you're not enough, that you have to be more of this or less of that to be worthy. The rarest women have made peace with themselves. They've let go of the need to be perfect, to fit into boxes, or to mold themselves into what others want them to be. They've realized that trying to please everyone is a losing game, so they choose to please themselves instead. This kind of confidence is not something that can be faked or put on like a mask. It comes from a deep sense of self-awareness, a knowing that you have something unique to offer the world. It's not about trying to outshine others, it's about realizing that no one can shine the way you do. It's about understanding that you don't need to compete with anyone else because there is no one else who can be you. This is what makes authentic confidence so powerful. It's rooted in the unshakable belief that your value is intrinsic and cannot be taken away by anyone or anything. When a woman possesses authentic confidence, she doesn't need to seek attention or approval because she's already secure in who she is. She knows that she can walk into any room and bring something valuable to the table, not because she's trying to prove herself, but because she genuinely believes in her own worth. This kind of confidence radiates from the inside out. It doesn't shout, it simply exists. It's the kind of presence that makes others take notice without you having to say a word. But let's be real, authentic confidence is not about feeling invincible or never having doubts. Even the most confident women have moments of fear and uncertainty. The difference is that they don't let those moments define them. They've learned that confidence isn't about being fearless, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. They understand that confidence is a muscle that gets stronger every time you push through your fears, every time you take a step forward, even when your knees are shaking. They trust themselves to figure things out as they go, knowing that mistakes and failures are simply part of the journey. Authentic confidence also has a beautiful ripple effect. When you are truly confident, you don't feel the need to put others down or compete for the spotlight. Instead, you lift others up because you understand that their success doesn't diminish yours. You celebrate other women's victories because you know that there's more than enough room for everyone to thrive. The rarest women know that true power comes from collaboration, not competition. Their confidence allows them to be generous with their support, their encouragement, and their wisdom because they aren't threatened by the greatness of others. And let's talk about presence, because a woman with authentic confidence commands it. But it's not because she's trying to be the loudest voice in the room. It's because she's genuinely at peace with who she is. She listens more than she speaks, and when she does speak, her words carry weight because they come from a place of authenticity. She doesn't need to dominate conversations or prove her worthiness. She knows that her presence alone is enough. Authentic confidence also means being okay with being vulnerable. It's not about pretending to have it all together or putting up a front. It's about being honest about your strengths and your struggles. It's about showing up as your whole self, flaws and all, and knowing that you are still enough. The rarest women are not afraid to admit when they don't know something or when they need help. They understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength that allows them to connect with others on a deeper level. In the end, authentic confidence is about trusting yourself. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the inner strength to handle it. It's about walking your own path, even if it means going against the grain or standing alone. It's about honoring your own journey, embracing who you are, and being unapologetically proud of it. Because when you have that kind of confidence, nothing and no one can shake you. You become a force of nature, not because you're trying to be, but simply because you are being true to yourself. And that, my friends, is what makes the rarest women in the world truly extraordinary. They don't just exude confidence, they embody it, live it, breathe it, and inspire it in everyone they encounter. The rarest women in the world understand that true strength isn't just measured by what you can achieve for yourself, but by how you can empower those around you. They realize that life is not a zero-sum game where someone else's success diminishes their own. Instead, they live with the deep conviction that by lifting others up, they create a ripple effect that benefits everyone. These women know that the more they help others rise, the higher they can soar together. When you lift others up, you do something far more powerful than simply offering help. You create a space where people feel seen, valued, and capable of achieving more than they ever thought possible. The rarest women have an innate ability to recognize the potential in others, even when those people can't see it in themselves. They are the ones who offer words of encouragement at just the right moment, who extend a hand when someone is on the verge of giving up, who share their wisdom and resources freely because they understand that true success is not about standing at the top alone, but about bringing others with you. This isn't about trying to be a savior or expecting something in return. The rarest women lift others because they know that life is about connection, community, and collaboration. They've realized that when we lift each other up, we build a world where everyone thrives. It's about creating a culture of abundance, where there's enough success, joy, and opportunity for everyone. They refuse to buy into the myth of scarcity that pits people against one another. Instead, they embrace a mindset of abundance, knowing that there is always room for more. One of the most profound ways these women lift others is by leading by example. They show what is possible through their actions, inspiring others to dream bigger and reach higher. It's not about telling people what to do, it's about showing them what can be done. They've learned that the best way to inspire change is to embody the change themselves. They model the courage, resilience, and authenticity they hope to see in others, knowing that their actions speak louder than words ever could. These women are also skilled at creating spaces where others feel safe to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to grow. They understand that for someone to reach their potential, they need to feel supported and believed in. So they become that source of belief, that cheerleader in someone's corner who says, I see you, I believe in you, you've got this. They understand that sometimes all it takes is one person to say those words for someone to unlock their full potential. They're generous with their time, their energy, and their resources, not because they expect anything in return, but because they genuinely want to see others succeed. But lifting others up also means challenging them when necessary. The rarest women know that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is to push them out of their comfort zone, to hold them accountable, and to encourage them to aim higher. They don't coddle, they empower. They ask the tough questions, they provide honest feedback, and they refuse to let others settle for mediocrity because they see the greatness that lies within. They are not afraid to challenge others to be their best selves because they know that true growth only happens when you are willing to stretch beyond what feels safe and familiar. These women have learned that lifting others up doesn't diminish their own light, it amplifies it. They've realized that the more they invest in the growth of others, the more they grow themselves. It's a beautiful reciprocal process where everyone benefits. They understand that the world is in desperate need of more people who are willing to share their knowledge, their skills, and their encouragement freely. The rarest women have chosen to be that person because they know that when you lift others, you are, in turn, lifted. And let's not forget the ripple effect of this kind of support. When you lift someone else up, you empower them to do the same for others. It creates a chain reaction where one act of kindness, one moment of belief, one gesture of support multiplies and spreads. This is how communities are transformed, how families are strengthened, and how legacies are built. The rarest women understand that by lifting others, they are not just changing one life, they are planting seeds that will grow and flourish for generations to come. Lifting others up also requires a certain level of humility. It means putting your ego aside and recognizing that success is sweeter when it's shared. The rarest women don't need to be the star of the show, they find joy in seeing others shine. They are not threatened by the success of others because they are secure in who they are. They know that when others succeed, it doesn't take anything away from them, it only adds to the collective achievement of all. At the end of the day, the rarest women are the ones who understand that we rise by lifting others. They know that their legacy will not be defined by how much they accumulated or achieved for themselves, but by the lives they touched, the people they inspired, and the communities they uplifted. They recognize that true fulfillment comes not from what you take from the world, but from what you give. And that's why they are the rarest women, because they've chosen to use their power, their influence, and their hearts to lift others higher. In a world filled with noise, competition, and relentless pursuit of more, the rarest women stand out not because they conform, but because they choose to rise above. They are the ones who own their uniqueness unapologetically, who show up with unwavering resilience in the face of life's storms, who pursue their purpose with fearless determination, and who carry within them a quiet, authentic confidence that can neither be shaken nor diminished. These women understand that their power isn't in standing alone, but in lifting others up. They know that their true legacy will be measured not by the accolades they accumulate, but by the lives they touch and the light they bring into the world. Their journey is one of embracing their imperfections, standing tall in their truth, and choosing love over fear every single day. They understand that greatness is not about being the best in the room, but about inspiring others to see the best in themselves. To be among the rarest women in the world is not about fitting a mold or meeting someone else's definition of success. It's about courageously stepping into who you truly are, owning your story, and turning every challenge into an opportunity to grow. It's about being fearless in your pursuit of purpose, lifting others as you rise, and leaving a legacy of love, strength, and authenticity. So as you walk forward from this moment, remember this: you have the power to be one of these rare women. You have the power to choose resilience, to own your confidence, to pursue your dreams with purpose, and to lift others along the way. The world needs you to show up fully, boldly, and unapologetically, because when you do, you don't just change your own life. You create a ripple effect that has the power to change the world. Be rare, be resilient, be radiant, and never forget that the greatest gift you can give this world is the fullness of who you truly are.